Hi there, Kids Spacers. Welcome to Explore More, and I am Auntie Sarai. On set with us, we have once again Uncle Tyrone. Yes, and we have Ariana. Say hi. And Sean.
Hi.
And boys and girls, I would like to thank you so much for being with us every single week. We appreciate you and we love you. And one day, very soon, I would like to see all my boys and girls on set with us on Explore More. And so remember now, boys and girls, to share your comments, tell us what you think, what you'd like to see, and we will do the best we can to meet all your needs. So, our lesson today, we are looking at spy. Yes, we're looking at spy service. Grab your Bibles. Remember, we're using the King James Version, but whichever version you have, feel free to join us. Our story comes to us today from Numbers, the book of Numbers, and we will be looking at chapter 13. And so, our memory text that we're using today is Numbers 13 and verse 30. Who has that for us?
I do, Auntie Sarai.
All right, go right ahead.
And it reads, And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it.
All right, that sounds like a charge. Let's go up. Yes, so our themes. Let us look at the major themes that we're looking at today. The first one is heeding God's call. The next one is serving others. And the ultimate is standing alone. Uncle Tyrone, what are your thoughts?
All right. Thank you so much for that, Auntie Sarai. So the themes that we're focusing, as Auntie Sarai said, firstly, heeding God's call. It is very important that when we hear, when we see, and when we receive the calling from God, that we should definitely go ahead and listen to Him and move from there. Now, Sean and Ariana, we have a few questions here for you. And the first question go to you, Sean. What are some of the ways we can listen to God's guidance and direction in our everyday lives?
By reading and obeying His word.
All right, short and simple. Short and simple, reading and obeying His word, because indeed His guidance and directions are within His word. Thank you so much for that, Sean. So, Ariana, how do you think God can use us to make a difference in the lives of others?
But we can invite them to Bible study. We can invite them to church, and we can also give out flyers if we're having any evangelistics, and we can also just invite them. If you have any friends, you could just invite them to the evangelistics, and yeah.
Thank you. Ariana just gave us some
practical ways.
Yes, quite
Perfect.
so.
Thank you.
And
Perfect.
quite appropriate for their age too.
Exactly. Thank you so much for that. All right, guys, perfect answers. So we're going to go into offering service to God, serving God. And my first question actually goes to you again, Ariana. What does it mean to serve? What does it mean to serve God? And how can we serve Him at our age, at your age?
We can preach. We can preach to the congregation.
It's a big one. Okay, go ahead.
We can tell others about God's word. Like you can go to school and tell someone that God loved them and I love them too. And you see, you could bring a Bible to school and give it to the teacher, or you could give it to one of the students. Yes. And you can tell the principal about God if he doesn't know about God.
Wow. Ariana is not just staying at the student.
Oh no, she's going up the ranks. Yes.
Exactly. That is so good. Thank you so much for that answer, Ariana. Sean, going back to you. So, serving God should be a happy thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So, how does serving others and being kind to them make you happy?
Well, it makes me happy because I know that I'm winning souls for Jesus Christ. And in the end, there is a reward for those who are faithful.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Serving God, serving others actually help us or makes us happy. I am a living testimony of that. I'm sure you as well, and Saraya, that the service that we offer to God and to others indeed help us to be happy people, happy Christians. All right. So for now, that is all the questions under the themes that we have for today. And now turn over back to Auntie Saraya.
Thank you, Uncle Tyrone. So we're going to be looking at the story that comes to us from Numbers chapter 13. And back again with the Israelites. Now they were at the border. They were at the edge. This is the promised land. This is everything that they grew up, those who were born through the wilderness. This is at the point now where they're going over into the promised land. But can we just go over like that? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. We have to do a little spy work first. Yes, ma'am, we have to do a little spy work. So Moses, in his wisdom, he chose 12 men, one from each tribe. And they were supposed to go over to see what was over there. Do you want to just walk into a place and you don't know what you're getting yourself into? No, no, man. A good war, what you call them now? The persons in war, the chief and all of those people. Yes, man, they have to do a little spy service, you know.
It would take a lot of
They have
courage.
to scout out the land and see what's going on over there. So yes, man, Moses 12 men, one from each tribe. They were supposed to go over and bring back a report. So let's see what they saw. The land was what? Flourishing. It was nice. It was filled with water. It was fertile. It was vast and rich. It had big walled cities and giants. Oh yes, giants. It had giants. And so the report came back. Yes, the land is beautiful. The land is flourishing. It's a nice place to live. It's everything you dreamed of. But the cities are tall. And the defense is tight. And there are giants. And we're what? Grasshoppers. Have you ever seen a grasshopper in comparison to a giant? Yes, we are grasshoppers. And they're giants. What are we going to do? But what did Caleb say? Let's go back to the memory verse.
Okay.
Numbers 13 and verse 30. What did Caleb say?
And
Go read it together.
okay. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it."
All right, so everybody now was terrified that why did God bring us here? God said he was going to give us the promised land, but God didn't tell us about the giants. God didn't tell us about the high walls. God didn't tell us about the soldiers. Yes, Ariana.
Our giants are like real giants.
Yes, they're real giants, flesh and blood. Yes, man.
I know, but our mountains are our giants.
Our mountains are giants. And so, what happens now, Ariana, when our mountains are giants? Do we see ourselves as grasshoppers, or do we do like Caleb? Do we possess it?
Them.
Yes, we overcome them.
Yes.
And so, the theme from this that we want to look at is, what do we do when we have to stand alone?
We have to pray.
Yes.
We have to pray.
And we have to give God, and we have to ask God for courage to stand alone, even when others they don't want to stand with us, even when others are against us. God will give us the strength
Do you
to
have
stand
any
alone.
experiences, any examples that you want to share with the boys and girls, all our kids spacers, about standing alone? Yes, Ariana, go ahead.
One of my friends, I went to my friend's house. It was Friday, this Friday. They were eating pork. They had pork in one of their sandwiches,
Okay.
and because they were offering me some, I said no, I do not want pork, and I don't eat pork because I'm a vegetarian. Even though I eat fish, but I do not eat pork.
Okay. And you said to them, I will not have pork. And that was final.
Standing up for
There was
God.
no debating it.
No.
You didn't second guess it. No, you just don't want pork, and that's it. And that's beautiful. And you know, God is pleased when we stand for Him.
Yes.
And even when we feel that we're weak and we can't stand, Do you know that God sends a little backup? Yes, man. It's not one angel this time, you know. It's not two, I know.
A lot.
It's a lot. It's a battalion. So when you're in that battle and you have to stand alone, the Lord is not just going to look at you and say, let her stand down there all alone, man. No, no, no. He's going to send backup. Do you have anything for us, Sean?
Well, I have an example.
Yes, go ahead.
So let's say that I'm about 18 and I have friends who are also 18 and they're pressuring me to drink. I will stand up for God because He will give me the strength to stand up for Him, even when they're against me and want to drink.
Yes, and do you know that we're living in a world where even before you get to 18, you have
Yes.
children who are doing things that once upon a time, Uncle Tyrone, it was for adults only. Those days are gone. We now live in a time when even children are pressured to do things that only adults used to do. So you don't have to wait until you're 18, Sean. It's happening right now. So you must have that relationship with God to know and to be sure that He will stand for you when you stand for Him. Sometimes standing alone may be scary. You may be afraid. But if you know the God that you serve, and if you trust Him, you can be guaranteed that He will stand for you.
Amen.
Any thoughts, Uncle Tyrone?
Thank you. That is a wonderful discussion, everyone. I do want to just add to it that, especially for our YouTube viewers, our kids on YouTube, it is sometimes very hard to stand alone, especially when there's so much pressure around you, peer pressure. But once we know what is right, sometimes we may not read in the Bible because we may not have read the Bible of the right things to do, but God has given us a conscience per se that He speaks to us to say, hey, this is the right thing to do. And each time we're given a choice, we are asked to always choose the right. And it is not easy sometimes, but we have to remember that it is best in every situation to choose to do what is good. And that is what I want to leave with our boys and girls on set and those on YouTube.
Thank you, Uncle. Does anybody else have anything you want to leave with the boys and girls?
Yes, Auntie Sarai.
Go right ahead.
So I have my VIP.
Sure.
And my very important point is God will always give us the strength to stand alone even when others are against us.
Thank you so much. That's a powerful point.
Yes.
Ariana, do you have a point for us?
Yes, I do. My point is that if we're standing alone and we can't bear it, we should try to overcome our fear. I think it was Corinthians 10 verse 13. It says that God will give us escape from our temptation that we face,
He will give us
and
a
we
little
should
escape,
bear
right?
it or overcome it.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So God gives us the strength to bear all our burdens. Every challenge that comes to us, God has already seen it. And God knows that we can overcome it with His power. And He will always make a way of escape. So boys and girls, kids spacers, remember that the day must come that you will be asked to stand alone. So start building that relationship with God from now so that you will be able to stand in every situation. And always remember that God is with you. And so remember, boys and girls, to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you want to join us at this table, send your WhatsApp to 876-810-7614. Let's say that again, 876-810-7614. And thank you for joining us, and continue to
Explore more.
in the Word of God. Bye.
Bye.